So this is Christmas, and what have you done?
I'm playing this song because it's one of my favorite Christmas songs. But it's actually one that I every year have found more and more difficult to listen to because uh, because it's a beautiful song and a kind of an emotional song, but specifically because of the lyrics at the beginning where it says, "So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, a new one just begun." So it always made me think every time around this period about how sick I still was. It was like year in and year out because every year I just wanted to get well, right, and get better. And I thought this is the year, you know. And some years I managed to improve my health, but it's also a difficult period because there's a lot of you go with family and there's things that you have to do, like New Year's, for example, is an activity that everybody partakes in. But for example, in my case, in 2008, I remember I missed New Year's. I stayed home that year, and I remember feeling very, very devastated. And I'd written an email to some people, kind of opening up about that because I was just too sick to go out, and I'd had UTIs for 2 years straight, and the pain had been there for a few years already, and the migraines, and it's difficult to live through. And so um, this year, I guess, would count as the biggest, the year that's gone by, where I've kind of achieved the least in a sense, but in another sense, um, it's quite the contrary because I finally got a diagnosis. So it's actually kind of been the best year while being the worst year in the same time. So it's a bittersweet moment for me to be ending the year. Um, I've spent most of it right here on this couch, struggling, and so I I do look forward to changing year and hopefully regaining much of my lost health in 2015. But I am very grateful for the lessons that 2014 brought me. It's taught me um, just how strong I really am, which is a really beautiful lesson to learn in a lifetime. When faced with adversity, you do have choices how to face it, and I'm really proud of how I've done. Which does not mean that I didn't have difficult moments. Won't have difficult moments. Don't cry. Don't get beat down or feel despair at times. But I've learned through it all, and I've grown through it all, and I don't think it's hardened me too much towards people that I love and towards kind of my relationships and things that I hold dear. And um, despite being very angry and frustrated at the system, the medical system, and everything that's gone down with me being so sick for so long, um, I still have smiled, every day and try to look at the beauty of life and not at all the darkness. And so I'm happy and proud about that. I'm grateful for all the people that I love in my life. I found out that I really know more wonderful people than I ever thought possible, and that the people I do know are more that I knew were wonderful are more amazing than I could have ever imagined. They've been holding me up and getting me through this. I'm glad that everybody got to see how awesome my amazing husband and is. I already knew that because he's been with me through all of this. Um, but he's proven himself time and time again to be a wonderful person and just a great example of how to treat somebody who's going through a difficult time, and so I'm very proud of him as well. And I found out other things as well. I found out that unfortunately you can't trust the medical system to have your back at all. I knew that for a while, but I mean, come on, I have infections that are eating away at me that have been for 13 years, and when I find them out, I'm still told that it's not true. you know um, Meanwhile, I know with 100% certainty what is going on, and so does my doctor. And so um, well, we know that this is like part of my health issues, is what I mean. So I found that I also found out that there are some people that will unfortunately fall out of your life when you deal with illness, and you'll realize that they weren't really part of your life ever, really, to begin with. And I've learned that you know their hurt is still hurt. For all the strength you can have, and for all the positivity you can have, and the good kind of positive attitude, people can and will still hurt you, and that can be very painful, especially when you're sick, and kind of in a life or death situation where you're really struggling to find the motivation to go on. Um, and so, yeah, I never quite appreciated that. I think how important it is to kind of lift up people who are going through struggles. How much that helps you, and how much that the people who lift you up actually can make or break you, in many ways. And those that put you down can break you, and it makes it hard. It's a huge challenge when you're going through illness, when you have people who try to break you. Much bigger challenge than when you have your health, because when you're sick, you're already kind of being dragged down to, let's say, this bottom, this imaginary bottom, which is, um, you already feel like you don't have a life, and you're in this state of no life. And so yeah, so some ups, some downs this year, but I've made it through it all, and life kind of goes on. I mean, I don't really want to say that, because I don't consider that what I have right now is a life, or much of a life. But I'm getting very tired. These videos take more out of me than maybe than one might think. Um, yeah, I guess I'm gonna end it there soon, but you can make it through anything if you have the support and people to carry you through it. And so to all of you listening, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, I will never be able to explain adequately or repay you for your support, but please know that it's made an enormous difference. Thanks for being with me through it all this past year, and I hope that we can all watch me get well in the next year, and I wish everybody health, love, happiness, strength, and compassion this year.